Hey guys, it's Mandy. It is day 10 of our Bible reading plan. We are still in the book of Job. We're in chapters 24 through 28 today. And as I was reading, a couple of things sort of stood out to me that I wanted to talk with you guys about today. So the first couple of verses that stood out as I was reading are in Job 27, verses 2 through 6. He says, "As God lives, who has deprived me of justice, and the Almighty who made me bitter, as long as my breath is still in me, and the breath from God remains in my nostrils. My lips will not speak unjustly, and my tongue will not utter deceit. I will never affirm that you are right." He says this to his friends in response to their accusations. "I will never affirm that you are right. I will maintain my integrity until I die. I will cling to my righteousness and never let it go. My conscience will not accuse me as long as I live." This is a man who knows that he knows that he knows he's done nothing wrong. And he says that he will maintain his integrity until he dies. Job is living in this crazy tension where he knows for sure that he has not done the things he's being accused of, that he has not lived his life unrighteously, that he has done everything to please the Lord. He knows that. He knows that that's who he is. And he's living in this tension of the reality of the way he's lived his life and the reality of the things that have happened to him. They don't seem to line up. He doesn't understand why. And according to human wisdom, his friends are telling him that all of these things happening in his life, he must be wrong. He must just be wrong. He must have done something. He must have done something terrible. But he's living in this place where human wisdom is really failing. And then we have this beautiful hymn to wisdom in chapter 28. And in chapter 28, one of the things that stood out to me starts in verse 12. It says, "But where can wisdom be found, and where is understanding located? No one can know its value, since it cannot be found in the land of the living." Job is recognizing that no one can know its value, and it can't be found in the land of the living, that human wisdom is failing, that the way that we make sense of these things is falling short of God's perspective and God's wisdom. And Job just wants to talk to God about what's happening. And he ends the hymn with an exaltation, really, and an acknowledgement that it's God's wisdom, not his friend's wisdom, that he needs in this time. He says in verse 23, "But God understands the way to wisdom, and he knows its location. For he looks to the ends of the earth and sees everything under the heavens. When God fixed the weight of the wind and disturbed the water by measure, when he established a limit for the rain and a path for the lightning, he considered wisdom and evaluated it. He established and examined it. He said to mankind, 'The fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to turn from evil is understanding.'" For Job to wrongly admit that he has done something wrong would be lying. He would be in sin if he confessed that he was one with sin and that he brought these things on himself. So he will stand on his integrity in the tension of waiting for the Lord to reveal in God's time and in God's wisdom what's going on. And I think that that's such a hard tension and space for any of us to live in, but to be encouraged in the idea that, we are not in control. We are not in control. God knows our hearts. He knows our lives. He knows the outworking of our faith. He knows our love for him. And so we rest in those things when calamity happens, when things fall apart around us and we don't understand. We can take all of that to God and ask him to give us understanding and ask him to give us a right view of our world and our situation. And his love for us and where he is in all of this. And Job just keeps beseeching God to do that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Keep reading, keep it up. We're 2 weeks in. Stick it out, guys. You're doing great.